So I just finished Grand Theft Auto 5. Okay, maybe I just played through all the missions and I didn't do all these collect UFO pieces type of things. Damn it, don't be so nitpicky. Yes, maybe I didn't do all the missions. I did the storyline, okay? And a bunch of random events. Oh yes, and I did kill that Jesus guy standing at the pier. I thought he'd withstand a slap on the back, but turns out he didn't. Reminds me that I should go back into the game. You know, resurrecting it all after 3 days. Say sorry. What? Oh, alright. I finished the story in a gaming marathon weekend quite a while ago and I was just too lazy to do any videos or vlogs since then. Maybe lazy isn't the right word. I felt like I needed to experience the world again, the real world, go out. A bit of a letdown after spending lots of time in GTA's Los Santos. It's not really easy to pick up strippers, and stealing a mini submarine almost got me arrested. I'm joking. I got arrested for that. Anyway, so I enjoyed the world and let my impressions of GTA 5 sink in. I really thought I had a great time playing it. I even thought it was the best game ever! But looking back at it now, I wonder if I'll remember the good time and be able to tell stories about it in a few years. What stories, you ask? Well, that's perfect because I just made a list of video game related stories that I keep remembering. And no, I didn't get arrested. I'm actually filming this from inside the submarine. When I was a kid, my parents got me one of these video game style home arcade things. I don't even know how they're called. You know these things working with flashing lights instead of animated objects on a TV screen? It was built like an arcade machine and played exactly like Donkey Kong. With a different name. A cheap ripoff. My parents probably thought I wouldn't know the difference. Don't tell them. I knew. However, I played with so much passion that my fingers started bleeding from hitting the jump button over and over again. The machine looked like I had a vicious fight with the king of donkeys. Gorillas. Whatever he is. I just assumed Donkey Kong's male. Kidnapping ladies and throwing bells and stuff. My parents were a bit concerned, but in the end they should be glad it wasn't a home version of Hyper Olympics. That sports game where you had to push 2 buttons repeatedly to get faster. It would have been a bloodbath. So I don't even know if this one is cool or sad. I loved scoring with overhead kicks in Microprose soccer. I was boosting my ego by counting these cool goals that all looked the same. And no internet to even brag about it in public. But hey, we were only 2 guys around my age in the village I grew up. Lots of girls though, but I was more interested in overhead kicks. I miss split screen. Sure, some modern games have it too, but back in the days of the N64 we were crazy about it. For GoldenEye and Mario Kart battles we invented something that could be called a split screen towel. A simple construction using a broom and a towel. Put the broom on top of the TV with the stick pointing towards you. Then hang the towel over it so it splits the left and the right side of the TV. Sit down on a spot where you can only see 2 of the 4 mini screens. That way you could always be surprised and not see where everyone else was in the game. I should have patented it. It happened on Soul Blade. I was actually pretty shit at the game and just randomly smashed buttons. It belonged to one of my friends and one evening he brought the PlayStation and the game and 4 or 5 of us played the whole evening. He usually won. And then it happened. I was about to become his next victim and then he announced, "Oh, I'm gonna take Seomina. She's unbeatable with that staff-like weapon." I was scared. The room was silent. The fight started. I mashed a few buttons and within less than 5 seconds my fighter pushed Seomina outside the ring. The room went silent again. It was time for round 2. The same happened again. Pure luck for sure, when with everyone still silent I must have cheered too loud and just teased him too much. He looked at me, started applauding and saying, "Great, Martin. You're the best." But it was obvious he was pissed. More about me celebrating than the actual defeat. He taught me a lesson. Be careful how you celebrate winning against one of your friends. I usually don't celebrate too much when winning in FIFA, but I complain even more when I'm losing. It's just a matter of time until I start breaking some of my furniture. One day I played bowling on the Nintendo Wii with my nephew. I never owned a Wii and I was not that familiar with the Wii mode, but I was serious about giving my best and do the same moves I would do in real bowling. I love my nephew. He's got Down syndrome, but he always shows me how happy you can be in life, even when it throws lemons at you. Turns out he understood it way better than I did. While I stood there, carefully aiming, and moved my arm as I would throw the ball, he was just lying in the bed like a tired dog. He just flicked the Wiimote by moving his wrist and still managed to get 7 or 8 strikes, beating the crap out of me. I don't know if I should be angry about the game mechanics not being realistic at all, or just be proud of him. I chose being proud. Well done and I love you. Star Wars Galaxies was my first MMORPG. For those of you who don't know what it means, it's a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. So you play online with hundreds or thousands of other players in a virtual world, with each player playing an individual role, like a Jedi or a smuggler or a bounty hunter, etc. When I bought the game, I expected to launch it and just become like a Han Solo type of guy. Fight my way through hordes of Imperials and mess with intergalactic crime lords. 5 hours into the game, I was still shooting frogs outside the city walls. Crime lords, my ass. Turns out playing with humans also wasn't always what it seemed like. I tried talking to other characters, hunting frogs next to me, but they rarely gave an answer. Took me a while to figure out they had an automated script running, making the characters hunt frogs while at work or hanging out with friends while I was hunting frogs in a virtual world. 4 hours! Anyway, at some point I did meet human players, but I even got invited for an interview to join a guild. Again, for the not so gaming savvy people out there, why would you still watch this video? A guild is like a group of people with their own guild chat room, a virtual house, different ranks and position, and much more. Together we would spend our evenings hunting frogs. I'm just kidding. We were already hunting lizards. Giant lizards. But not the biggest ones. Medium. Anyway, I got to the guild house. It was massive. I didn't know where to go. I had to ask my way, chatting with other players to find the recruiting room. There was the recruiter, waiting for me. I was actually nervous. I didn't know what to say. Silly, huh? It's supposed to be a game, but suddenly it didn't have the save button anymore. I only had one chance and I couldn't mess it up. I had to make an impression. He really must have liked my hate the Empire speech, because I got accepted into the guild. It has been a memorable moment, but also a life lesson. I spent a lot of time in the game and it became quite important. Telling your girlfriend to hurry up when shopping for boots because here's something like a job interview in a virtual world is probably the equivalent for her turning off the TV during the football World Cup final because she's got some friends coming over for a Tupperware party. I never asked her, but I think there are 2 boats drifting away in a sea of life faster than before. We're still on good terms. Maybe I'll ask her next time. But lesson learned, real life is important. Balance it out. Those are the first awesome gaming memories that come to my mind. And while I love playing GTA 5 or Uncharted, the memories that stick in my head are the ones that involve other human beings. Sure, there's GTA Online, I haven't played it yet. I might give it a try, but without playing with some friends, I might not remember it in a few years. While I do have to play online, I really hope the developers don't forget about the friends factor. Just being able to play online against 30 or 60 other random players, you don't even know their real names, often kind of match the fun you can have with 3 friends sitting right next to you beating the crap out of each other in Mario Kart or GoldenEye. Good times. Not a rant against online games or strictly single player games. I do enjoy playing them, but friends are important. Keep hanging out with them. Keep finding new ones. And you might be up for some crazy adventures in the real world with them. Friends for life. You know who you are. I know I can always count on you. Until next time, Amber's out.